So Fujifilm is one of the biggest brands in photography, cinematography, printing, and medical equipment. We all have grown up with Fujifilm cameras, 35 reels, and a lot of other things which actually made our photography career. So today we have an update to the most beautiful camera, the X-T3. The X-T4 is being launched today. And we have with us Mr. Arun Babu, who's the head of electronic imaging and optical device division from Fujifilm India, who's going to talk to us about all the things Fujifilm is facing due to COVID and the new camera, the X-T4. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. It's my honor to be a part of the show. And we are also very excited to launch the camera. So please go ahead with your questions.
So I'm joined by my colleague Rachit, who will also be asking questions regarding the X-T4.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
Hi, Rachit.
Hi, Arun.
So Arun sir, tell us. Let's start with COVID, the current situation everybody's going through. So the current COVID situation with lockdown, supply chain issues, how is Fujifilm India business and operations affected by this?
So, of course, COVID-19 lockdown started from March 23rd when the financial year was getting end. And then since April, honestly, this has impacted almost all the industry. I don't say that we are not impacted by this. Yes, we are impacted by this, but it's very difficult to measure the impact as of now because still we are under lockdown. And of course, the first quarter, April, May, June of the financial year is being impacted. But now, off late, since 18th of this month, things are getting normalized in some part of the country. Some states have opened up. Some stores have opened up. Sell-through of the cameras have started happening. We are getting a lot of inquiries about the new camera X-T4. And that's one of the reason why we have decided that we can't wait anymore. And we have decided that we have to, in this situation, we have to find a way to launch it. And impact and all, definitely, let me put it this way, that we have to rebudget the here once the situation gets normalized, but we cannot predict or we cannot measure the impact as of now. And it's common for all the industry, all the brands, but definitely all the brands are working towards it, that how to within this situation, how to get the best business out of it and how to get the best result out of it. And we are also working towards it.
And we are 2 months into the lockdown, and brands are literally kind of taking off as rethink their branding strategies, marketing strategies, collaboration strategies. Especially when it comes to camera like Fujifilm and all, they kind of depend on collaborations with artists, photographers, cinema makers, movie makers, whoever. So this is a new breathing space for rethinking your right.
I strongly believe that we need to change the way we used to do marketing earlier before COVID-19. So let me put it in perspective. Before COVID-19, we used to do a lot of awareness by doing a lot of workshops where we call up all our photographer friends and photographer colleagues, and there is somebody from Fujifilm evangelist team who showcase them the camera, who explains the camera, what it's all about and how it is different from the competition. Some cases we used to call the celebrity photographers also, who used to show his or her work and explains why she has shifted or he has shifted from Fujifilm to Fujifilm from the old brand. So this used to happen before COVID-19, and now post COVID-19, this was in our plan also. We have done the similar thing via online, via using our own social media handles. So if you look at our social media handles like Facebook page or Instagram page or YouTube page, which is called as Fujifilm X India, we have been doing lots and lots of activities since the lockdown. So I would say my technical team is much busy post COVID-19 than before COVID-19. Reason because almost every day we are either doing a celebrity talk, which we call it as Rubaru session with a celebrity photographer who shows his work and who speaks to all the customers who are online and answers to their queries. We have also done a series of workshop, which we call it as Pathshala, where we can connect the camera and show the menu system. So let me put it in more detail that we have also done this activity in regional languages, be it Bengali, be it Malayalam, be it Kannada, be it Telugu. So we are reaching out to that level so that even if a customer who is not comfortable with the language, he can use that local language and ask questions. So existing customers who owns a Fujifilm, they are really getting help because of this activities, because they are learning new skills. They are learning to understand what camera capabilities are versus competition or versus their old equipments. And the new customers are also engaging because they were into decision making, that whether we should go for it. Now their decisions are becoming firm. And since, as I told you, like since 18th, we have seen lockdown as getting eased up in some part of the country, and we can see some sales happening in those markets, which gives us motivation that whatever we have done over the last 2-3 months since the lockdown is going on, it is resulting into benefits. So I think we are taking lockdown as it comes, and we are trying to find out different ways how to market or how to change the way we.
Yeah, basically you're taking the approach of maximum utilization of minimum resources.
Yes, exactly.
To put it down in a word, in a sentence.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So, Mr. Babu, while we are on the topic of lockdown opening and online being a part of it, so are you looking at digital sales as a medium to sell cameras as well? Because right now the customers, like if we are a customer, I wouldn't prefer going out, and because there's that scare of catching the virus. So are you looking at digital sales as a medium?
So, Siddharth, let me tell you two ways. That there are two types of customer. One who wants to buy via online. Online portals are there to sell products. So Amazon and Flipkart. So yes, of course, we are dealing with them, and our products are online there. Our retailers, some of the retailers are listed in Amazon portal, and we also deal with Flipkart and Amazon. So that is there. Then there is one set of customer who wants to buy from a retail channel, who has been buying from retail channel over the so many years. So he has that comfort with that retail channel. So, but what I've seen is that most of the retail channels now, those who didn't have social media handles have started coming to social media handles. They are also sitting on chunk of database where people still want to buy from them. So they are also, we are motivating them to come on social media handles, start interacting with your customers. So we are also doing workshops or events on their social media handles, on their customers, on the retailer's social media handles, so that they get that confidence of that customer. And what I've realized, even I've been suggesting that Fujifilm has this flagship stores. So X-T4 will be launched via flagship stores, and we'll be asking flagship stores to take the booking. Even we have requested flagship stores that with all the necessary precautions, use your manpower to give one-to-one demo at the doorstep of the customer instead of calling the customer at home. So this is a different approach. So earlier, never a shopfront promoter who is standing in the store doesn't go to the customer's house. Now we are asking them to send him to the customer house with all precautions. If it is in as per government norms, it's not falling under red zone, and with all the due permission and all, send him to that customer's house and give a demo of the product, and then conclude the sale. And some of the retailers are doing the appointments. They are calling the customers at a time slot so that he is not coming as a herd, or not a lot of customers are coming together. So that kind of things are happening. So as I told you, that even the retailers, even the consumers, even the brands like us, everyone is trying to find out different ways to reach out to customer and to restart the business in a way. So I think this kind of changes are happening, and it will happen.
Okay, great. Mr. Arun, I would like to shift this conversation a bit towards the market in India. Okay. Like the camera business in India is ever growing. We cannot deny that. Given the young population, a massive young population, plus the advent of internet. Internet is providing a lot of opportunities for everyone, like be it cinematographers, photographers, or anyone. So I would like to know where does Fujifilm want to hold its market? Like, you know, when it comes to let's say Nikon, for example. Nikon is more known towards the photographers. Canon is more known towards cinematographers. Sony is also kind of overtaking Canon's market right now when it comes to cinematography. So is there a particular section of the market that Fujifilm wants to concentrate on really when it comes to India? Because India is a big market.
Yes. So Okay, Fujifilm has cameras starting from 34,999 to 7,86,999. So you have a big range in between. There are 14 to 15 cameras with different SKUs with more than 40 lenses. Now, it's wrong to say that we are targeting only one particular market. It's not like that. Fujifilm has a range of products which are targeted toward amateur markets, which is budget cameras, one who is starting up the photography. Then we have a range of cameras which is the new generation, which is vloggers or YouTubers who wants a slightly one step better camera than an amateur camera with all the equipment. So we have those kind of cameras. Fujifilm worldwide is known for the traveler's camera or hobbyist camera. So we have that set of cameras which are very compact in nature, fixed lens camera, which is attracted for travelers because of its retro look, because of its compactness, because they can carry in their pocket. So that kind of cameras are also there. And then Fujifilm is also known for, as I told you, that we make broadcast lenses and cinema lenses, because of which we have the knowledge of video. So we have cameras which are targeted towards video filmmakers or cinematographers. And also finally we have cameras worth rupees 3.5 lakh, 4 lakh, which are called medium format cameras, where the sensor size is 70% bigger than a full frame camera.
Bigger than a full frame, yeah.
Yes. So anyone who is doing studying or doing his commercial work or fashion photography or jewelry photography or architecture photography, such kind of cameras also we do have. A 100 megapixel camera also we have. So it's not right to say that we are targeting one set of customers. We have a buffet of products, so we have to reach out to all sort of customers in a different way. So approach is also different.
Okay, let me rephrase that question. So what I meant was, I'm sorry if I must have come out wrong in this. What I meant was every brand has their own marketing budget, right? So is there a particular area or of segment of market where you're really concentrating on marketing your products, like be it cinema or be it vlogging? Because cinema making is different and vlogging is completely different.
Exactly. So yeah, I think now I can answer it really well. So in India market, the major market is of wedding. That is a fact. So yes, even most of the brands promote their products, high-end products, which are meant for cinematography and still photography towards wedding market, because that is the biggest market. So in India also it's the same. Unlike many other European markets or US market, so those markets are not like that. So considering India as a market where more than 50-60% is wedding market, of course our target or our investment or marketing is more towards that, of course. And followed by wildlife, followed by commercial photography. So that's how the marketing or the investment plan, or that's how it has been divided. But other than that, as I told you, that Fujifilm is one of the brands which is known for street photography, which I've never heard of any other brand. We are also being called the cameras which are meant for street photographer or hobbyist photographer. So we have to do something for those kind of customers also. We cannot ignore them in whatever better way we can do it, because in India you don't find such huge community for that, but still there is a community. We cannot ignore them. So we do a lot of photo walks for that set of customers. But photo walks like for example a Rajasthan Pushkar photo walk or a old Delhi photo walk, such kind of things keep happening across the country. So recently we launched a Camera X Pro 3 a few months ago. So we did a 7-8 cities photo walk with that, because that camera was meant to be a street photographer's camera or a traveler's camera. So we do that kind of activities also. When it gets to amateur market, we also do amateur workshops with Amazon customers or Flipkart customers, as well as amateur customers. When it comes to wedding, we do a lot of activities and events for wedding, be it exhibitions, be it workshops. And then when it comes to commercial photographers, high-end commercial photographers, there we do one-to-one, because that customer is willing to buy a camera worth rupees 8 lakhs plus a 5-6 lakh rupees of lens. So he doesn't need to be sitting in a group to listen to us. He needs a personal attention in his studio. He wants to test the camera vis-a-vis some other brand. So we all do all these kind of activities, and that team has been divided accordingly. The work has been divided accordingly as per the genre of photography.
Great.
Okay, Mr. Babu, I had the opportunity to use the XT4 and XT3, sorry.
Oh, okay.
XT3, sorry. And I had taken it to one of our events. So a lot of journalists were there, a lot of photographers were there. And everybody, when they saw the XT3, they went gaga and they were asking me questions and everything. But most of the photographers and even us, we use either Canon or Sony. So now XT3 was a beautiful camera. I'm sure XT4 is similar. And but the brand recall of other brands like Canon, Nikon, and even now for that matter Sony is much higher. So how are you planning to address that? When cameras are very good, the output is very good, the features are excellent, but the brand recall.
Exactly. So, first of all, you need to understand, Siddharth, that globally, the mirrorless cameras are gaining more momentum than the DSLR cameras. Mirrorless contribution in the entire market size is more than 50% in global market compared to DSLR cameras. And in India, that trend has just started. Mirrorless is in last year it was maybe I would say close to 20 or 25% in between in terms of value in the overall market. So still DSLR contributes more to that, but this is mirrorless is going up drastically. So previous to last year it was close to 10% only. So suddenly there was a jump. So in coming years, I strongly believe that in next 3 years mirrorless will surpass DSLR. And Fujifilm as a brand is completely into mirrorless, and nothing can be done overnight. We as I told you, so many activities we have been doing, and we are creating awareness in Indian consumers' mind. And most importantly, we have a wide variety of lenses. Any brand to give a new mirrorless camera to market, one should have an option of lenses, be it prime lenses, be it zoom lenses, be it bright lenses. Unless you have a more than 40-45 lenses we have in X series and JFX put together, without the opportunity or without the choice of lenses for different sorts of photographers, you cannot win that market. So that buffet we have, that set of cameras we have, and we are creating lot of awareness. And brands which you name, some of them just came into mirrorless, so they have to start working on their lens lineup in the mirrorless segment, because future is mirrorless. It's been obvious because all these brands have just came into mirrorless segment, some of them, right? So yes, we are slowly and gradually gaining share, slowly and gradually gaining momentum in Indian market. And this is one step more for on Monday. We are launching this. Already we launched the camera on Monday, and this is one step for that particular launch. One step for that same awareness.
Mobile photography is the new thing. I mean, even we use mobile phones to shoot videos and things. And somebody has said that the best camera is the camera you have with yourself. So now mobile phones are like really having good camera setups. So do you think this digital photography business from traditional manufacturers is going to take a hit, or is already taking a hit?
Okay, I put it I take this thing in a different perspective. I see this as an opportunity. Like, we have taken the growing trend of photography very positively, because the rises of smartphone have made people think about the need and importance of owning a digital camera, clicking a better picture with it. Like, let me put it this way. Individual buying a smartphone, taking a lot of pictures, putting it on social media, getting a lot of praises. And with that, he gets an inclination of capturing moments through better camera, better product. This trend is motivating the individuals to click more pictures with camera that delivers better image and color quality. This is leading to rise in the adaptation of digital and mirrorless cameras with the interchangeable lens camera. And this is a vicious circle. So yes, we see lots and lots of posts every day in Facebook and Instagram, and people are getting more inclined to take more pictures. And this, even now in the COVID-19 situation, let me give you a different example. There are a lot of my friends who have started making videos of what they cook, how do they gardening, and this all are giving them an idea of how we should do it more professionally. This brings them to the question that they have to buy professional equipment in a budget. They can start off with a one or two lenses. And there are a lot of people who have started asking me that can you have a budget camera so that I can do this on a regular basis? I have started a YouTube channel. So it's a vicious circle, right? So emerging smartphones and more use of smartphone, clicking more pictures, make them more inclined towards photography. And photography is one of the passion which most of the people follow, because it's I don't say it's easy, but still people like photography as a passion, which because they get immediate praises, immediate response when they post it. So that's why we find a lot of YouTubers coming into picture right now, a lot of vloggers getting into they're coming up with travel blogs, with their food blogs. So that's a trend which is happening.
Like
I see it as a blessing in disguise.
Okay, so because I wanted to pull the question back to that itself. So like how iPhone advertises itself these days.
Yeah.
iPhone has hoardings all over the metro cities, shot on iPhone. iPhone has TV ads saying shot on iPhone.
Yeah.
So if people start believing in such kind of advertising, and it's convincing advertising, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
People do buy iPhones because of its camera, mainly also because of its iOS features against the Android features. That's a different topic altogether. But if people start using phones as cameras for filmmaking and photography, and after that they will just need to basically learn editing skills, because most of the work that we see now, it completely depends on editing, like be it videography or anything. So according to you, do you think will the camera really matter, or is it the editing skills that will come into play when it comes to high quality output?
I would say with the innovation and the quality remaining the key to ever growing industry, I would say that the people or photographers what are clicked with a smartphone camera, still there are a lot of things which can be which are missing, which is there in mirrorless.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah. Like for example, still it's not very famous that you need to have a zoom lens. Like for example, if you want to have a professional pic with a zoom lens, even the image stabilization, very good image stabilization with the camera technology. The camera technology is also evolving.
Yeah,
it's not
like
so
even the phone camera is coming with stabilizations and wide angles and stuff like that.
Yes, but there are still a lot of things which cannot be compensated by a mobile camera than the still cameras, because a still camera has its own capabilities, has its own way of approach. Now with the mirrorless technology, it has become very compact. Let me put it this way: even a camera the old camera used to be bulkier. The DSLRs used to be bulkier. Now even the X-T4, you can see it. It's very handy. You can put it in your jeans pocket and
Absolutely.
you can shoot. Right. So that is one thing, compactness, and also the speed, the low light performance. It is still unmatchable compared to a smartphone. Yes, smartphones have improved a lot, but when it comes to professional photography, it's still a long way to go. I don't say that the smartphone can take the place of professional photography anytime soon. It's not so easy. Yes, smartphones are being used by amateurs, and they are also getting the habit of photography. And I can see a lot of customers who shift from smartphone to mirrorless. That's because of this habit of photography, because they want to have a better equipment. People do realize that if you want to become a professional, you need to have a camera. You need to, if I can put it rightly this way, that high-end camera sale is increasing in double digits.
Okay.
There are a lot of people who are buying high-end cameras. I would not say amateur cameras, because the smartphone also come at 50,000 or 60,000. Amateur camera also come at 35,000, 50,000. So they are same. But when it comes to a high-end cameras, definitely it has a lot of advantages. Even in the camera like an X-T4, you have a lot of such advantages which a smartphone cannot give. So you cannot have that kind of a comparison.
So basically, what you're saying is with smartphones, people reach the limit of photography. Actually, they get interested in photography. Smartphones are sort of a gateway.
Yes.
And once you reach the limit, then you actually have to get into buying a professional camera or a higher end stuff.
To follow that passion.
Yeah, to follow that passion. X-T3 was a very beautiful and capable camera. And I believe the X-T4 is based on the X-T3 chassis. So how and what is new in this X-T4 compared to X-T3?
Okay. The first and the foremost thing is that when XT3 has been launched 18 months back. I remember September 2018, I think. And since then, there have been a lot of engineer visits to many countries. One of the country is India, and a lot of engineers visited, a lot of top management visited, and they took feedback from all those customers about XT3 and what needs to be done. And there was strong demand about a lot of features, out of which many of them have been incorporated in the new model XT4, and for which we are getting a lot of praises since the launch. So I will name a few, but their list is very long. I'll name a few which are very, very most important changes what has been done. The first and the foremost thing is that this camera, first ever XT series camera, has an IBIS system, in-body image stabilization system. So we used to have an in-body image stabilization system in a camera called XH1, not in the T series. So this is in-body image stabilization with 5-axis 6.5 stops. When I say 6.5 stop image stabilization, that means it gives a better low light photography or a night photography. It gives more benefit in that it stabilizes the video when situation to prone situations to shake. And even XH1, if I compare the IBIS system of XH1 and XT4, it is 30% smaller and a 20% lighter than the XH1 IBIS system. So this is the first hardware change. Then it is a new shutter mechanism, which makes it the world's fastest 15 frames per second in the burst mode. So again, from XT3, XT4's this mechanism is 30% quieter. It's the sound is much quieter. The battery is new. The new battery has a 1.5 times better capacity than the previous battery. So this is also a big change in the hardware. In software also there are a lot of changes happened. In video also a lot of changes happened. One of the feature which has been most appreciated is that it has become it can give you 240p. That means 10x real-time slow motion effect, which is artistic. Like it used to be 120 in XT3, now it is 240p, which is a big change happening. There are a lot of video features, like it has started giving you Q menu, that is quick menu. There is a separate setting for video and setting for still. So you just in a click of a button you can change the setting. Then the phase detection algorithm also has been changed. So it's a new phase detection algorithm. Film simulation. Fujifilm is known for their film simulation, be it Eterna, Velvia, Provia. This is a film simulation going on from last so many years since our analog cameras. Those all film simulation are there already in the digital camera XT3 or XT4, but a new film simulation has been added, which is Eterna Bleach Bypass. So this gives you more storytelling imagery in low color saturation via versatile cinematic look. So those kind of things have added. Then there are host of things like the LCD screen. It is like now it is tiltable, which can be helpful for vlogging. And the resolution 1.62 million dots are there. 3-inch screen with 3:2 ratio, and then weather resistance, jacks and ports. A lot of things have been changed. So as a summary, I can say it's a much better version of XT3, a one camera which is suitable for photography and videography. And XT3 also will continue at a lower price, of course, but XT4 has a lot of things which are meant for photography and still videography, and upgraded version, I would say, a big brother to XT3.
Roger?
Okay, so Arun, you mentioned that Fujifilm only exclusively deals with mirrorless cameras.
Yes.
So do we see a picture where other companies would stop the production of their existing DSLRs, like maybe 5 years down the line or 6 years down the line? And my second question would be, is APS-C mirrorless something that Fujifilm is really banking on?
Okay. So answer to your first question is that it depends on brand to brand. So one thing we have to accept is that the trend is towards mirrorless.
Yeah.
Any brand who is dealing with both the system, one thing is for sure that they will be launching more of mirrorless, because mirrorless is growing. Definitely, gradually, they have to cut the R&D or reduce the investment in the other systems. Reason because if the trend is towards mirrorless, if the demand is for mirrorless, there is no point to invest more in the other system. So this, although I am not supposed to comment on other brand strategy, but I feel this would be the trend.
No, I was just talking from the industry perspective, so the camera industry itself.
Industry perspective, I would strongly believe that more and more innovation, more and more launches will happen in the mirrorless segment or mirrorless category than in the DSLR category. That is for sure. Now coming to answer to your second question, which was can you APS-C mirrorless? I think you asked. So we believe in two systems. One is APS-C mirrorless, and one is the medium format mirrorless, or we say large format mirrorless. So APS-C mirrorless is because the genre of photography which I mentioned sometimes back, be it street photography, be it wedding photography, be it any kind of other photography other than the fashion or the commercial photography, all these photography, the outcome or the result is in a certain size of photography. In, like for example, wedding, you give the customer in a certain wedding album, which is a size. You don't print a big image or hoarding out of it, right? That for that you need a different set of cameras. So to give that thing, APS-C mirrorless is good enough. That give that result, APS-C mirrorless is quite good enough to cater to all these kind of customers. Now coming to the other part, where you need to have a commercial shoot, a fashion shoot, a shoot for a hoarding size of kind of an image. For that, we have a medium format camera. For that, because the sensor is 70% bigger than full frame, so of course each minute pixel details will be visible in that. And that also we have range in 50 megapixel 2 cameras and 100 megapixel camera, and that is also very affordable. Like few years back, a medium format camera or a large format camera used to be 2 million rupees or more than 2.5 million rupees. Now Fujifilm is offering a camera worth rupees 3.5 lakhs, 0.35 million, or 100 megapixel camera. Can you imagine a 100 megapixel camera getting at 7.8 lakhs? So 1/3 the price of the so-called medium format camera. So it has become affordable. So basically, I will put it in this way, that we are making more and more strong high-end large format or medium format cameras, which can be affordable for the customers. And APS-C, we are enhancing the quality and technology, and this both complement each other. So we don't feel we are banking on these two systems, and we don't feel that Fujifilm need to think of any other system other than these two, which can cater to all sorts of customers.
Mr. Arun, with the X-T4, now that it has a lot of video capabilities, are you launching any set of lenses as well with this?
Not only from the video perspective, as I told you, we have more than 44 lenses in X series and GFX put together. But soon we'll be launching 50mm f1.0 or brightest lens. So that lens is gonna be a masterpiece. And during the launch, our top management has shown a glimpse of that lens. So the glass is so big, but with X-T4 it looks pretty okay, the weight and the size, and it looks pretty okay. And most of the customers are waiting for that particular lens. Although we have a range of lenses for different set of photography, but this is one lens which we are looking forward to, and this will be launching in this year. And I think we'll be doing great numbers with that lens, because that is a very challenging task for our engineers to make that kind of a lens. After a lot of inputs from all the countries, finally that lens is supposed to come in this year.
Great. So Mr. Arun, tell us about autofocus. Now video, vlogging, video making is more about autofocus, and a lot of brands have nailed it. Okay, so how is the X-T4 in terms of autofocus?
Okay, so the face detection autofocus algorithm, I said that it's a new algorithm altogether. So what it does is that the performance has been almost as fast as 0.02 seconds. So like face autofocus or eye autofocus has been dramatically improved. The movement of any subject, so the eye autofocus remains on the eye, and the tracking ability has been made much faster, and taking a portrait has become much easier. So tracking autofocus performance has undergone a very serious enhancement compared to X-T3. I would say it has doubled compared to an X-T3. So with that line, you can understand that X-T3 was our best autofocus camera so far in the lineup. And if I say it has become doubled, so then you can say the bar has been raised drastically. X-T4 becomes our best camera for autofocus system in terms of, and also with the image stabilization, it becomes much better. now the shake and everything can be reduced, and autofocus is much perfect. So you can see during the launch video also, we have shown the small clipping where autofocus, in spite of the fast movement object is happening, the autofocus is very sharp and very accurate.
And tell us a little more about the low light capabilities, because this is something which every user also needs, and the brands also try and emphasize on the low light capability. Suppose I'm out on a street photography walk, and it's evening and the light is going down. I should be able to shoot some good pictures in that light as well.
So I think I mentioned earlier also that because of the new IBIS system, which gives you 6.5 stops, X-T3 was 5 stops. So this is 6.5 stops image stabilization. So this really assists you in the night photography. In the night photography, the performance, ISO performance, everything much better compared to an X-T3. X-T3 or XH1 used to be our best in the low light photography before X-T4. Now with this new IBIS system, I believe that this will be much better. And although, as I told you, that engineers did visit Indian market and they did saw that in India, most of the weddings or most of the events happen in the night. So from that perspective, also when the top management announced during the launch event that one of the feature we always kept in mind during the discussion table of X-T4 was this low light capability has to be improved. So that is one of the good improvement I believe has happened from a wedding market perspective, the 6.5 stops.
Yeah, your target audience being limited to APS-C mirrorless and medium format mirrorless. So is it looking more towards photography, or are we going more towards videography? Like, because again, weddings are events where both of them are used heavily. Like, video making skills are extremely much more required than all these candid photography, because candid photography can still be done with any other normal cameras, but videography ke liye you need specific cameras and lenses and stuff like that.
True. So of course, as you rightly mentioned, that as a trend, video is increasing in every form. Like video is getting more and more popular. Somebody makes
plus I'm sorry if I would I just wanted to add to that. Are you also collaborating with any famous YouTube bloggers or any YouTube artists who would promote, like how we see for example, how we see news channels using cameras, and they promote those cameras on their channels? Like I think I would say NDTV uses Samsung cameras, and they actually promote Samsung's name on through their channel. So are you looking at any such collaborations where there are video bloggers and they would promote Fujifilm through their work?
Okay, so let me answer your first question that this particular camera X-T4, as I said, it has improved a lot of photography and the videography, both features. But from my perspective, from India perspective, I feel that especially wedding market, these markets prefer one particular set camera which can do both, to avoid unnecessary costs. And now looking at current situation, people would like to minimize their budget, have a budget camera which can do both. From that perspective, I think this is the right camera to choose for, because this can do both. And video has been improved drastically. A lot of artistic video you can do with slow motion, eternal bleach bypass, and such kind of features. You can do 4K 60p, right? So lot of things can be done in this. Also with image stabilization and a lot of features which are meant for still also. So I can say target towards both kind of audience. And coming to your second question, that are you tying up with YouTubers? We have a lot of YouTubers who have been using our system from quite some time and making videos with our system. There are a lot of YouTubers who we have been in touch with before the lockdown also, who were willing to join us in the X-T4 launch and who wanted to really test X-T4. So one of the YouTuber who is one of the strongest YouTuber in India, Mr. Pixel Village, he has been using X-T3 from quite some time, and he is one of the reviewer for us. They have been using our cameras from quite some time, and there are a lot of other reviewers who also does review our products. So we will definitely share the list with you in our website. It keeps updated who all are our ex-photographers or any YouTuber who is collaborating with us. And But let me put it in this way that as soon as this product is gone to many markets, different markets, there will be people who will be joining us in this, YouTubers or filmmakers. Definitely, they'll be joining us. So that will definitely let you know in detail once those things get more clearer.
So, sir, now that the XT4 has launched, could you tell us the pricing for the XT4 models, only body, kit length, and etc.?
Okay. Okay. So XT4 comes in two colors, black and silver, like same as XT3, and it will come in three kits. So one is only body. XT4 body only will be priced at 1,54,999 MRP. And then XT4 will come in two different kits. One kit will be 1855 lens. That will be priced at 1,84,999. And then the third kit is XT4 with the 1680 kit with zoom coverage from 16 to 80. And that will be priced at 1,99,999. One more thing which I want to announce here is that with this price, we are also bundling certain freebies for Indian consumers, and that I'm saying it's only for Indian consumers. So battery charger, the new battery charger, because as I said, the battery is new. The new battery charger is being supplied. That is supplied with this particular kit, any kit, be it body or both the kits. Also, the card, 64 GB card. So XT3 was coming with 16 GB. This is coming with a 64 GB card. That is also UHS 2 card, V90 card. So fast card. Because of its video capability, we have decided to give a fast card. So if you both put together both of the freebies, it will be worth rupees close to 15 to 16,000, which is coming as free only for Indian consumers. So this is as a package which is coming in XT4.
Great. Not a question, but XT4 comes with dual slots, right?
Yes.
Dual SD slots.
Dual slots.
Okay, so now just list out some 5 USPs of the XT4.
5 USPs. I said there are many, but for me as an individual, if I look at a camera, I would list out 5 key things. One is the most awaited feature was in-body image stabilization. I give the first rank to that because that was in demand from quite some time. Then comes the new battery. So because of the battery, the performance increase, the frames increase, so customer gets much better benefit. Then comes the shutter mechanism. So it becomes the fastest camera now, 15 frames per second. So this is the third thing. Then for a video maker, I would say the slow motion, that is 240p, it's tremendous because one of the cameras only which has 240p, even XT3 didn't have such kind of slow motion. So it's 10x, it's kind of a 10x slow motion. And the new simulation, the film simulation which has been added, the Eterna bleach bypass. So these are 5 key things. There is a huge list, but you have asked me to select only 5. So I select these 5 for me as a feature which is totally people are waiting for and to test for. So they will be testing all these equipment, all these features in their own genres, and very soon you will be seeing lot of contents in our social media, in their social media, with all these features involved.
Sounds like we can dance with this XT4.
Sorry?
Sounds like we can dance with the XT4. And course, particularly, I love dancing with my camera because I love showing movement through my photography.
Yes. It's as fast. As I said, it's so fast. So one has to really experience it. So you can be one of my customer.
Because of COVID, there has been a lot of supply chain issues and production delays. So do you see any supply issues with the XT4 in India?
So as I said, yeah, initially there was beginning, like it was supposed to launch in March, but not because of COVID, it got delayed because of issues of COVID in China, of course, because of less manpower and all. But now things are getting back on track. We are getting supplies of the product. As I mentioned during the launch also, that XT4 with the 1855 kit will be getting launched little later. XT4 body and 1680 is launched. It's available for booking and people have started booking. We have got a tremendous response already for this particular camera with all the prices and attractive prices. So I think things are getting improved in terms of supply chain, and even within COVID-19, within India also it's getting improved. So it's a two type of supply chain. Supply chain that import of products has improved drastically now. Now things are coming. All the other equipments also, other cameras also coming now. Not an issue. And within India also, whatever supply chain, it's improving a lot. So I think it's getting back on track.
Okay.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have any plans of setting up manufacturing in India?
No, as of now, I cannot comment on that. From a camera perspective, of course, no update on that. If any other category perspective, I'm not the right person to answer that. That is
No, with the camera, with respect to the
No,
camera, because I
don't-
don't think we've heard of any camera manufacturers.
no, we don't have any such intention as of now.
So, Mr. Arun, what is your message to the photographers who are stuck at home and not being able to go on photo walks or go and capture their images right now during COVID lockdown?
I say that be at home, stay safe, follow all the rules and regulations of the government, and that as a brand we are with you. And once the lockdown is lifted, we'll definitely be supporting you with the same attitude of never give up, never stop. And we have seen this ups and downs in camera industry earlier also, when there were earthquakes and tsunami in Japan, and we have overcome all those things. And of course, we will overcome this also. And in the end, I would like to end my comment with a quote which I've read in Hindi somewhere. I will translate that in English for you. That anyone can swim with the waves, but a real fighter would be someone who can tear apart the waves and move ahead. So we have to live with COVID-19, and we have to learn the ways, learn the different, forget all the traditional ways and learn new ways to move ahead and find a way out. So that's what I would like to comment on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.